Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, and hello if you're new here. I'm really sorry if I've got, I don't know why I did that, but I'm really sorry if I've got a lot of energy. It's because I'm actually really excited to do this because I've never done this before. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do my TBR jar picks, my March reads. Now the reason why I'm so excited is because normally I'm the kind of girl that I always have in mind what kind of books I want to read, but the problem is I buy books faster than I read them. I'm just going to, call myself out here and admit that I behave that way. Quite often there's books that are on this shelf that I've wanted to read for so long, so long, and I just don't get around to reading them because I buy something new and then I get really excited to read that and everybody else is reading that, and so things just get left on my TBR. And let's be honest, every book on my shelf is a book that I want to read, right? Otherwise I wouldn't have purchased it. So I made a TBR jar. And I'm very excited about it. I'm also excited because I'm filming on my new camera. I upgraded my camera. I hope that you guys can tell the difference because I feel like I sure as hell can. Sony ZV-E10 in case anybody is interested, and I am just so ready to film vlog content. My last camera was just not suitable whatsoever to be able to vlog with. I just had so much stuff I wanted to film and I couldn't because I didn't have a camera, but I've got a new camera now, which also means that my bookshelf tour will be coming because I get asked that in nearly every single video. Yes, my bookshelf tour will be coming, I promise, especially now that you can see a lot more of my shelves. I have a feeling I might get asked. I am going to sit down and do a very in-depth tour of my bookshelf, so make sure that you are subscribed and you have the notification bell on so you don't miss it. But let's get into this video. So what I'm going to do is, in here I have got series, but instead of like books from a series, like for example, like say here, oh you can't even see. Say here I've got like a series from Sierra Simone. Now I have put in the series name instead of like Sinner, because obviously if I was going to read Sinner, I'd read Priest first, then Sinner, then Saint. Do you know what I mean? Not talking about that in particular, but so if I have put a whole series in here, I will read that series and that will count as however many books are in the series towards like my reading goal for the month. So if I do pick out a series, I probably will pick out less standalones, because obviously if I pick out a series that's got like 5 books in it, then obviously that's going to be a lot of reading. Other thing that I want to say as well is I think I'm going to go for maybe like 8 books, because on a really good reading month where maybe I'm being really antisocial, I'm not talking to anybody, I'm not going anywhere or seeing anybody, I will probably read like 14 books. But I haven't done that for a while, so on a normal average reading month, if I'm not reading huge like 600+ page books, I can maybe get through like 10 books, and then when I'm busy and I've got a lot going on, I'll maybe read like 6 to 8 books. So let's pick 8. Let's go with 8 because it also gives me options. I feel really not in control of what I'm going to be reading, and normally I just, yeah. So anyway, let's pick out this TBR jar. Do you like my purple paper? Do you like my purple paper? I do. Okay. Hookshot by Kennedy Ryan. Let me go and grab that. Part of the Hoops trilogy, isn't it, by Kennedy Ryan? So I've just picked up Hookshot. Do I need to read, because this is actually the 3rd book, I think. I think it goes Long Shot, then Block Shot, then Hookshot, but can they be read as standalones? I'll find that out. If not, I will swap this out for book number 1, unless I pick it out. Next book. Yes! Oh, Master of Salt and Bones, I Know Where You Are, by Carrie Lake. I've wanted to read this for so long, for so long, and it's been picked by my TBR jar, which means I must read it. I'm very excited about that. I'm actually so excited about that because I've been trying to read that book for the best part of a year, and every time it comes around to it, for some reason I just don't pick it up, so I'm so happy to have picked that out. Okay, next. This is going well so far. Radiant Sin. That, oh, yes. Yeah, this is so fun. In case you don't know, this is actually the 4th book in the Dark Olympus series, which is amazing that I happened to pick out this one instead of the other ones, because I've got the next, I think there's 6 books out at the moment. I've got all 6 of them, but I have read the first 3 and I haven't got round to Radiant Sin yet, so love that. Do you know what? Why have I not been doing a TBR jar for the last 2 years? This is going far too well. Let's go to the bottom. Ooh, okay, interesting. Spells for Forgetting, which I think is a fantasy. Let me get it. So this is it, Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. I don't really know a lot about it, but I think it's a little bit witchy. Look, Rebecca Ross and Stephanie Garber, who are very popular amongst the fantasy romantasy readers have reviewed this and said, Stephanie said it was exquisite. Rebecca that is a tongue twister. Rebecca Ross said it was bewitching. So if anyone's read this and liked it, let me know. Oh, okay. I have that's it now. That's basically it now, because that's the Brutal Birthright series by Sophie Lark, which contains 6 books. Brutal Birthright series by Sophie Lark has been picked. I think what I am going to do is still pick out... I'm going to pick out 2 more and try and get some standalones. It was going too well. Oh, Fool's Boys by Penelope Douglas. Yes. I haven't actually read Bully by Penelope Douglas, but she's one of my favourite authors, so absolutely I'm going to read this. How exciting. And then let's pick one more, because I've picked out... Do you know what? I'm actually really happy about that, because I'm currently reading Sinners Anonymous by Som Sketcher. I'm nearly finished on the 2nd book, and I didn't think I liked Mafia Romance, and I'm reading this and it is so good. I will obviously do a review and a reading update on it when I do my vlog this weekend, which is really exciting. I will update you guys on it, but it's so good. It's so good. So I'm definitely in my Mafia Romance era at the moment, so I'm excited about Sophie Lark. Midnight Kisses. This is a sports romance that I have put into my TBR a couple of times last year, and I just never really got around to it, but it's meant to be really spicy. Let me just grab it. Here, so this is Midnight Kisses, and it's basically a one-night stand, but it's to do with the football coaches. Despite being the football coach's daughter, blah, 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 blah. I'm not really sure, but it's something to do with sports, one-night stands, definitely some forbidden love, but this is meant to be really, really spicy. And also, this cover is my favourite colour. So that's incredible. Okay, so we've got 6 standalones and the Brutal Birthright series by Sophie Lark. I'm actually really pleased with that, because I would never have probably picked half of these books. I would have just stuck to dark romance, kept reading that. Are there like rules to the like TBR jar thing? Because, you know, I may or may not stick to this religiously, but I may veer. My only fear is that there's not enough dark romance in here for my liking, but it's okay, because we need to broaden the horizons. We'll just go into detail about what they are. So the Brutal Birthright series, I'm not going to get it out. It is actually just over here though. This is it here, the Brutal Birthright series. So that is basically mafia romance, and it follows couples. It's kind of like an interconnected standalone situation. I love Sophie Lark so much. The Sinister Duet is one of my favourites. Then we've got Midnight Kisses, which is a sports forbidden love one-night stand romance. Oh, here we go. How did casual and fun turn into this? So I'm very excited to read that one. We've got Fool's Boys by Penelope Douglas. Is this the book where Noah from Credence makes an appearance? Because I'm obsessed with Noah, and I'm obsessed with Credence, and I'm obsessed with Penelope. So this is a 10 out of 10 pick from the TBR jar. I love that. This is really interesting, because honestly, this is probably a read that I wouldn't have picked up for months. And I quite like that it's kind of short as well, so it's not going to take too long to get through, which is Spells for Forgetting. And this is a fantasy. It's kind of like, I think there's a sort of like a mystery going on. I think it's witchy or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. It says seamlessly weaves mystery and magic and love into a captivating tale. Very excited. This cover is beautiful as well. Radiant Sin, which I'm so excited about. So this is the modern retelling of Apollo and Cassandra. This is a dark fantasy series. I love the Dark Olympus series. I think people find it very hit or miss. I really love it. I think it's very easy reading. You don't have to think too much, but you can really get lost in it. It's very fun. It's very sensual, very sexual. Obsessed with this series. So I'm very excited to read that. Master of Salt and Bones, which has just been on my TBR. If this was a sign, like if there was ever a sign that I needed to read this, my TBR jar even still picked it out for me. I think I put this in a monthly TBR like 4 times last year and just didn't get around to it. So I'm really excited to finally read this. This is a dark, sort of like psychological romance. It says here, in reality, my knight was scarred and broken, living alone in a castle of bones that overlooks the sea. He isn't searching for me, he never was. He's as cursed as I am. I'm not going to read the whole synopsis to you, but this sounds amazing. I've thought this for a long time. I haven't read anything by Kerry Lake either, so really excited to finally read something by her. And then finally, I'm going to start reading some Kennedy Ryan. Again, I'm going to find out whether I can read this straight away, whether I should start with a long shot. That might be the first one, but this series is meant to be quite emotional, really beautifully written. They are all sports romances, but they deal with some triggering but real life topics, if that makes sense. So I'm really excited to read that. That's a lot of reading, but a lot of exciting reading. A lot of very exciting reading, so buzzing about that. What a fantastic idea. I'm obsessed with those. Okay, so there we have it, guys. These are going to be, look, listen, I'm not getting out the whole Sophie Lark series, but this is my March TBR so far. Let's see if we manage to stick to it. I'm going to give myself like an 80% chance. 80% chance that I'm likely to stick to this, but who knows. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was short but sweet. I am going to do my reading update for all the books that I read as well in, what month are we in? We're in February. I'm gonna do my February reading wrap up in my vlog that I'm gonna be filming at the weekend, where I'm also gonna be unboxing some new books. But yeah, the possibilities are endless now. I've got a new camera, so I'm very excited. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.